Guys, welcome back to another video, and today we have my 2023 Monster Jam season predictions. So this is something that I've never really done on my channel before, but I've been planning on making this video for a couple of weeks now, and this is where I'm basically just going to be going over all 5 of the tours that we have this season, and I'm going to be giving you guys my predictions for who I think will win each tour, and of course I will also talk about some of the other drivers in each tour and how I think they will do. And I figured it's better late than never to make this video because, as you guys probably know, the season actually starts tonight, literally in probably like 3 or 4 hours after this video is being posted. So anyways, guys, without further ado, we're going to be starting off by taking a look at the 3 arena tours, which we're going to start off with Arena Series West, which is actually the only tour that debuts tonight down in Salt Lake City, Utah. So here's a look at all 8 competitors in this tour. As you guys can see, we have a ton of great drivers. Honestly, I feel like this tour really has everything that you can possibly ask for an arena tour. But ultimately, I really think this is probably going to come down to 4 drivers, and those 4 are Kristen Anderson, Elvis Lainez, Tristan England, and David Olfert. Now, David Olfert is mainly because he has some stadium experience, obviously, in 2022, and the other 3, I mean, Kristen Anderson won her tour last year, and we all know that Tristan England and Elvis Lainez are very good as well. Tristan England made it to World Finals last year, and Elvis Lainez won many different arena competitions in his tour last year. And this is honestly a very, very hard choice for me, but ultimately, I think I am going to go with Elvis Lainez and El Toro Loco to win this tour. Like I said, I think those 4 drivers, it really could be any of them, but I'm going to go with Elvis Lainez, but Tristan England with a very, very close second. And if I were to say, if I were to pick who I think is going to get third, I would probably say Kristen Anderson will edge out David Olfert for third, which would put David Olfert in 4th place. But yeah, that is who I think is going to win the first arena tour. Again, that is Arena Series West. My pick is Elvis Lainez and El Toro Loco. So the next tour that we're going to be taking a look at is Arena Series Central. So here it is right here. Now, this is another arena tour that I honestly think is pretty stacked. And as you guys can see, there is one driver that is TBA on this screenshot here, although it has been confirmed that the 8th and final driver and truck in this tour is going to be the brand new Thunder Roarus truck, and it is going to be driven by Tony Oaks. Now, that was actually just announced yesterday, and I'll pop a quick video on the screen right now of that truck for those of you guys that have not seen it yet. That was actually revealed on a live stream on Monster Jam's YouTube channel last night, and like I said, that is going to be driven by Tony Oaks, which I'm actually really glad, because I was a little bit worried when they hadn't announced Tony Oaks to be in any tour, because obviously up until, again, last night, we didn't really know what his future was going to look like for the 2023 season, but he's going to be in Thunder Roarus, and like I said, this is a pretty stacked tour. Brandon Vincent obviously won his tour last year. We also have the veteran Cody Saucier driving Dragon, and then a few new faces in here as well, including John Zimmer Jr. and Zach Garner, 2 of the young up-and-coming drivers in the series. But anyways, my prediction for this tour, and it's really close, it comes down to a few different drivers, but I'm going to have to go with Brandon Vincent in Gravedigger. Like I said, he won his tour last year. Obviously, he won the World Finals Racing Championship, and ultimately, I just think that he is probably going to get the win. The 2 drivers here that I think are going to be, or maybe 3 that I think will be competing with him the hardest, is Tony Oaks, Cody Saucier, because both of those guys are veterans and are really, really good. And then I think John Zimmer Jr. and Zach Garner as well could give them a run for their money, but like I said, ultimately my prediction for this tour is Brandon Vincent in Gravedigger. And I forgot to mention, but this tour will be debuting tomorrow night for their first show of the year down in Greenville, South Carolina. So now it is time to take a look at the 3rd and final arena tour of the year, and this is Arena Series East. Now, they are going to be making their debut tomorrow night in Nashville, Tennessee. Now, obviously, that is at the arena in Nashville, not to be confused with the stadium where they're going to have World Finals at. But yeah, so here is a look at all 8 drivers in this tour. We have some young drivers and some veterans. We also have the return of Lindsey Reed and Scooby-Doo, who, as we know, won freestyle at World Finals 20, and then also the return of Frank Kremel and Stone Crusher, which that one really surprised me. I had a feeling that Lindsey Reed might be coming back, but I did not think that Frank Kremel was going to be coming back, so that is really cool to see. We also have Chad Tingler and Zombie. I expected him to be in Monster Jam this year, but I did not expect him to be driving Zombie. So that's going to be interesting to see. But as for who I think is going to win this tour, ultimately, I think it is probably going to come down to Weston Anderson in Gravedigger and Armando Castro in El Toro Loco. I have a pretty strong feeling it's going to be those guys fighting for the championship all year long. I think they could be neck and neck all year long, to be honest with you. But at the end, I really think that it is probably going to be Weston Anderson in Gravedigger winning this tour. He won his tour last year, and I think he is going to do it again this year. So that is my pick for Arena Series East, Weston Anderson in Gravedigger, and I think that Armando Castro in El Toro Loco is going to be a very, very close second. And if I were to predict third, I think it's probably going to be, I would say, Bernard Light and Megalodon. I think he's kind of an underrated driver, to be honest with you, and I think he's going to get third, and then fourth place, I'll say Lindsey Reed and Scooby-Doo. So that's who I think is going to be the top four in this tour, with Weston Anderson getting the win. So now it's time to take a look at the two stadium tours, what everybody has been waiting for. And the first out of the two stadium tours that we're going to be taking a look at is Stadium Tour Blue, and their season is set to start tomorrow night in San Diego, California, as they have two shows lined up for this weekend. And as you guys can see from what you're looking at right now, there are a lot of talented drivers in this tour. This is a very, very stacked stadium tour, and I'm really looking forward to see what happens. Now, the one truck here that is TBA, it has also been confirmed, is going to be another Thunderoris truck, the truck that I showed you guys earlier in the video, that's going to be driven by Tony Oaks in Arenas, but it's going to be driven by Colt Stevens here in this stadium tour, which I really was not expecting. I know he drove at some international shows throughout the summer and into the fall of 2022, but I really was not expecting him to come back to full-time competition in 2023, but here we are, and he is going to be driving the beautiful-looking Thunderoris truck, and I'm really looking forward to see how he does. And as you guys can see, we also have all of Team Scream in this tour, of course, including Jim Kohler in Avenger. We also have his son, Chris Kohler, driving Monster Mutt on a Team Scream chassis, and then also Joe Foley in Axe is going to be making his Monster Jam debut. Now, he is no rookie to being behind the wheel, though, because he has competed at a number of independent shows over the past few years. But as for Monster Jam, though, he is a rookie. And then we also have John Gordon and Bad Company in this tour. I think John Gordon is a really underrated driver. He had a lot of great moments in 2022, and I really feel like he is set for a breakout season in 2023. However, at the end of the day, I do think the winner of this tour is going to be Ryan Anderson in Son of a Digger. I just feel like he's going to be too tough to beat. We all know how good Ryan Anderson is. He is just one of the best drivers, if not the best driver out there today, and I do think he's going to win this tour. Now, the other driver that I really think could give him a run for his money in this tour is Tyler Menninga in Gravedigger. He is my prediction to get second, and like I said, I do think he could give Ryan a run for his money, but ultimately I think Ryan Anderson's going to get the win. I'm going to put Tyler Menninga in second, and if I were to pick third through fifth, I'm going to say that third is going to go to Mark List in El Toro Loco. I think that he is a great driver as well. There were some rumors that he might be driving Max D this season, but obviously, as you guys know, it was officially announced that he's going to be in El Toro Loco, not Max D, which I think would have been really cool to see. But again, he is in El Toro Loco, and I think he is going to get third. And as for fourth, I'm going to go with Bari Musauer in Zombie. I think he had a great year last year, and I think he's only going to improve this year. And then the fifth and final driver that I'm going to predict to get in the top five is going to be John Gordon in Bad Company. I think he is just barely going to edge out Corey Rummel and Megalodon for that fifth spot. And then the only two drivers here that I think I have not mentioned is Cynthia Gautier and Lucas Stabilizer, which this is going to be the second season that we have seen that truck, which I'm really looking forward to see how she does. I think she is going to improve this year as well. And the final driver I didn't mention was Ryan Disharoon in Shaker. It is no longer Saigon Shaker, but it is Shaker, and I'm really looking forward to see how he does as well. But anyways, like I said, the winner for this tour, in my opinion, is probably going to be Ryan Anderson in Son of a Digger. That is my prediction. So let's move on now to the second and final stadium tour, which is Stadium Tour Red, and they're going to be making their season debut tomorrow night in Oakland, California. Now, they only have one show lined up for this weekend, while Stadium Tour Blue has two shows, but just take a look at all the drivers in this tour. One thing you guys might notice is there are a lot of veteran drivers in this tour, highlighted by Tom Mentz and Max D for the 20th anniversary. I'm really looking forward to see the 20th anniversary Max D truck in competition. We also have a few drivers in in brand new trucks for this year, including Todd LeDuc in Megalodon, Jamie Garner in El Toro Loco, and Travis Mowry in Velociraptor. All three of those guys are in brand new trucks, and I'm really looking forward to see how they do. And we also have the father-son combo of Matt Pagliarulo in Jester and Nick Pagliarulo in Kraken. Now, very similarly to John Gordon, I really think that Nick Pagliarulo is set for a breakout season this year. He did pretty good in 2022. Obviously, he made it to World Finals. He got the last spot in World Finals, but he did make it, and I think it was very, very deserving, and I think he's only going to improve this year. But as for the winner of this tour, I think that this one could be a lot closer for the number one spot than Stadium Tour Blue. And the 3 or 4 drivers that I'm really going back and forth between are Tom Meents, Todd LeDuc, Adam Anderson, and Camden Murphy. Also, Bryce Kenny and Cole Vennard as well, I think are both going to have great seasons as well. And you can never count out Kayla Blood, who also had a pretty good season in 2022, where she's going to be behind the wheel of Soldier Fortune again. But anyways, as for the winner of this tour, I think I'm going to go with Todd LeDuc and Megalodon. Now, that hurts to say as a diehard Max D fan, but I just think that Todd LeDuc and Megalodon is a pretty good combination. As you guys know, he drove Blue Thunder in 2022. He's behind the wheel of Megalodon now, and I think he's going to get the win. Now, I'm going to say that Tom Meents and Max D is going to get a very close second. As for third place, though, I do think it's going to be Camden Murphy and Bakugan Dragonoid. He did so good in 2022. There was a stretch, like, right after World Finals where I believe he won the overall championship at, like, 3 events in a row, and I really think that momentum is going to keep up with him in 2023. And then fourth place, I'm going to go with Adam Anderson in Gravedigger. Of course, I think he's going to be great again. I mean, he's just Adam Anderson. I think he's going to do great. And then rounding out the top 5 in 5th, I'm going to have to go with Cole Vennard and Black Pearl, edging out Bryce Kenny and the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior for 5th. So I do think that Bryce Kenny is going to get 6th. And then 7th, I'm going to go with Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken. I know I said I was going to do the top 5, but that is who I think is going to be the top 7 for this tour. So yeah, guys, that is pretty much going to do it for this video. I'm really looking forward for the 2023 Monster Jam season. I'm going to be going to a number of different shows, and I'm really looking forward to see how these drivers do. But anyways, guys, let me know down in the comments below if you guys agree with my predictions or if you disagree, and let me know who you guys think is going to win each tour as well. So anyways, guys, if you are new to my channel, make sure you guys do subscribe, because I am currently on the road to 4,600 subscribers. And then, as always, make sure to leave a like on the video, turn on post notifications, and comment anything you guys want to down in the comments below. And I will see you guys next time.